How are you all doing, folks? James here again. Just thought I'd give you a quick little check-in from UMASS this time. So I'm back over in Boston. So it's been a really good month, actually. January has been nice. The weather in Massachusetts has been good, which is great. We only had a little bit of snow, even though today, I'm just recording this on the 8th of February, and tonight and tomorrow we're to get like 8 to 12 inches of snow. So it should be an interesting experience in terms of my driving. I got to Florida for a week, went down to Orlando to one of the biggest assistive technology conferences that they have here in the States. So that's ATIA. So it was a 3-day conference with I went along to 2-day pre-conference as well. So really, of course, I specialized and I picked out sessions that were very much around AAC and in terms of augmentative communication. So I really kind of specialized in those areas and tried to get an insight. It was quite an interesting conference. I think what's interesting mostly for me is that being somebody who's had experience in the field of dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, those type of, we'll say, mainstream disabilities that would use mainstream technologies, and in terms of the AT that I saw at this conference, really I think in the last 2 or 3 years there was very, very little there that would have been useful for students with dyslexia, dyspraxia, dysgraphia. You know, we will say the vast majority of learning difficulties that we would see in Ireland in mainstream classes. So that was interesting. I think it's a good thing because we're probably moving on and we're empowering kids that might have dyslexia or dyspraxia to use more mainstream technologies. However, I think it's worrying on another part, because students that struggle quite a lot then are possibly being left behind. And I think that's one of the biggest battles that we are facing in terms of assistive technology, you know, when we move to just technology, that more mainstream student, so that student that might struggle with reading or writing, comprehension, time management, you know, those type of standard things that we would see in a lot of mainstream schools. So for me, that was probably one of the most interesting things to come out of it. Of course, it was a lot hotter than it is here in Boston, so that was great. But outside of that, you know what, I made some really good contacts. Got to meet with some people that I've been half stalking on Twitter for the last few months, and I actually got to have a real conversation with them, which was very beneficial. And you know, it's all about building up networks for me and making contacts, so that when I'm doing research, survey work, focus group sessions, that I can call on people that I've met and I can ask them for their input, and that's so important. I mean, in terms of my research itself, it really has pushed on in this last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been working quite a lot with the guys here in the Shriver, just to kind of mold what I'm doing and really how are we going to get it into action this year. I've got a few abstracts that I had to submit this week as well for some conferences that I hope to speak at. So that's been an experience, and this is all new to me. You know, I mean, I did some research in my undergrad and in my master's, but really I didn't do a whole pile, and it's there's a lot of learning going on. I might have had a lot of practical experience, but in terms of the nitty-gritty of research, I'm really getting my head around it. And I've been using a lot of online courses, you know, online free MOOC courses, which has been really helpful, and just kind of borrowing or stealing people here in the Shriver and just kind of getting them to give me a little bit of help. And that's really what it's about. I think you got to kind of dig it out for yourself, and you got to kind of drive it on a small bit. And that's really how I stepped into 2017. I just kind of, you know, came at it, and then I'm going at it hard, and I'm really about grafting and getting this very much over the line. This month that's coming, February, it's looking good. It's looking cold in Massachusetts, but outside of that, I'm heading to New York next week to meet with a Center of Autism Research. So that should be a good 2 days, and hopefully meet with some speech pathologists while I'm there as well. So that's kind of a really kind of a catch up on February. It's also my birthday. I'm going to be 33. Even though I look 27. So it should be a good month. Some of my other assist ID fellows are popping over. So hopefully Jurgis will come from Michigan State University. He's coming down for a few days. We've got some meetings here in Shriver, and we'll try and grab a Celtics game as well. So that's kind of a quick recap in terms of what's happening. Like I say, it's been a good month. Got our Subaru Outback, which makes a big difference. So I'm really set up for the Massachusetts weather. Apparently you need a Subaru and you need LL Bean boots, and I've got both. So looking forward to what the Massachusetts weather can kick at us for the next 4 weeks, and look forward to catching up with you in the next 3 or 4 weeks as well. Thanks a mil.